In this video, we will be looking through examples of multiplying out of single brackets. Now, the thing that's absolutely key for multiplying out of brackets is that we remember BODMAS. So brackets first, and also that when we see a bracket, what that means is everything on the inside of the bracket is going to be multiplied by the number or the letter or the variable on the outside. So if we look at this example here, we know that we're going to have to do 4 times x. So that's 4x. We are also going to have 4 times 3. So that's 4 times positive 3. So it's going to be plus 12. And that is us multiplied out of that first example. Now, if we look at a second example, in this example, we're going to look at what happens when there is a negative involved. So when there's a negative involved, it may look something like this: 5a take away 2. And we start the same way. We do 5 times a gives you 5a. But then we have got to think, well, actually, I'm not doing 5 times 2 anymore. I'm doing 5 times negative 2. And that gives us an answer of negative 10. So when we multiply out a bracket, if there's a negative in there, we've got to include it in our little multiplication. Let's have a look at another example. In this one, we'll be looking at what happens when there's a letter on the outside. So when there's a letter on the outside, it might look something like this: a bracket a plus 2. So we need to multiply, first of all, that a on the outside by the a on the inside. And that will give us a squared. Remember, squared just means times itself. Then we've got to look at the a, and we've got to consider, well, a times positive 2. So this gives us positive 2a. And that is our solution for the third example. The fourth example we are going to look at is one where perhaps it is all letters. So for example 4, we're going to have x bracket y plus z. And we start yet again the same way. We're multiplying the x by that first term inside the bracket. And that is going to give us x, y. Remember, when you write them side by side, that means the two things are multiplied together. So we've got x, z there. So this can be plus x, z. And that gives us our solution to the fourth example. Our fifth example is taking this to the next level. And this is much more National 5, knowing how to deal with your negatives. So we are going to have minus 2 bracket x minus 1. We start the same way. We start the same way for all of these problems. We've got minus 2 times x, and that will give us minus 2x. We then are looking at minus 2 times minus 1. Now this is a really handy little drawing for you to use. And the way we use it is we can do the 2 times the 1. We know that gives us 2. But the thing quite a lot of people find challenging is knowing if that answer is going to be positive or if that answer is going to be negative. This little smiley face is fantastic because we are multiplying negative 2, we rub out a negative. By negative 1, we rub out another negative. And we know that because the only symbol left in this smiley face is the positive sign, that 2 is positive. So if you multiply negative by negative, we end up with positive 2. And that is example 5. Now, if we look finally at example 6. Example 6, we have what we might call extra pieces of information. So it's not just one bracket. There is stuff in the front and there is stuff at the end, such as 4 plus 2x minus 1 plus x. Okay? There's quite a lot to process here. What's important is we recognise BODMAS, brackets first. And actually what we can do is copy down the 4 and copy down this plus x, because we're not actually going to be bothered about that at the moment. We need to first multiply out this bracket. So we're doing 2 times x, that's positive 2x, and we're doing 2 times minus 1, so that's minus 2. We've multiplied out the bracket, we need to simplify. So, we collect together our x's. We've got 2 lots of x plus 1 lot of x, 3x. And we've got 4, take away 2. So that's plus 2 at the end. The most common mistake in an example like this is that people try to deal with this 4 or this x first. And we're not able to do that.